What made you regret saving someone being bullied? The first friend I ever made got bullied for showing up to school with a FNAF lunchbox. The girls dumped ranch dressing over her head and shoved her to the ground. Before I could think about the consequences, I hurled my milk carton at their faces, grabbed the girl's hand, and sprinted from the cafeteria laughing. Becca looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I only need you. You're all I've ever wanted in a friend." I thought it was the sweetest thing anyone had ever said. Becca seemed like the perfect best friend at first. She'd walk with me between classes and save my seat in band practice. We'd spend afternoons watching FNAF theories and horror movie breakdowns. But in English class, I got grouped with Catherine and Tally. I expected them to ignore me, but they actually liked my ideas and FNAF comparisons. For the first time, I felt like I could fit in with more than just one person. When they started inviting me to hang out, Becca would look hurt and get quiet whenever I mentioned them. She'd make little comments about how they were using me or weren't good for me. She'd suddenly plan things that conflicted with group hangouts. I brushed it off as normal bestie protectiveness. When I'd cancel plans with Catherine and Tally, Becca would light up and say things like, "It's better when it's just us anyway." But Becca's hurt looks turned into something darker. She started showing up everywhere I went, appearing at my locker between classes and cornering me in the bathroom. She'd demand to know every detail about my conversations with Catherine and Tally, asking what inside jokes she'd missed and why I was laughing without her. When I tried to brush it off, she'd get this intense stare and say I was keeping secrets from my best friend. Other kids began avoiding me because Becca would follow them around school after they talked to me, telling them to leave us alone. Then I found the AirTag tucked inside my backpack's front pocket. When I confronted Becca about it, she didn't even deny it. "I needed to know when you were abandoning me," she said, like it was perfectly reasonable. That's when I discovered she'd been tracking Catherine and Tally too. Catherine pulled me aside after finding hers and said, "This isn't normal friendship behavior. She's obsessed with you." But I kept thinking about how we'd been outcast together. I felt horrible knowing she'd be friendless again if I pulled away. Maybe she just needed a chance to get to know them better. I decided to organize a sleepover with Catherine and Tally, hoping Becca would finally see they weren't trying to steal me away. When I asked her, Becca's face lit up with genuine excitement. "That sounds perfect," she said, already planning what movies we'd watch. The night started exactly how I'd hoped. We painted our nails, shared embarrassing stories, and watched horror movies while eating way too much candy. Becca actually seemed to be having fun, laughing at Catherine's jokes and bonding with Tally over their shared love of true crime podcasts. I fell asleep thinking maybe everything would work out after all. At 3 a.m., I woke up to Catherine screaming. Becca was kneeling beside her sleeping bag, holding scissors and chunks of blonde and brunette hair. She'd cut so deep into Catherine's scalp that blood stained the pillow beneath her head. My stomach churned at the terrible sight. Becca stuffed the hair into handmade dolls, whispering movie quotes like some kind of ritual. "You're mine now, all of you," she whispered, rocking back and forth. Tally tried to scramble away, but Becca lunged forward and grabbed her wrist. "I'm not finished with your spell yet," she hissed, scissors still dripping. She started yanking at Tally's fingernails while Tally cried in pain. Becca groaned, "Stop moving so much. I can't rip it off." Before she could pull a nail off, my mom burst into the room and yanked Becca away from Tally, confiscating the scissors. We all ran to the living room to escape, but Becca followed us and continued chanting to the dolls, stroking them like babies. She held up the one that looked like me and screamed, "You belong to me! The magic will make you see that I'm all you'll ever need." When my mom tried to take the dolls away, Becca bit her hand so hard I swear I could hear skin tearing. I couldn't watch anymore. I grabbed the dolls from my mom's injured hands and hurled them out the window. Becca collapsed, sobbing and pounding on the floor like a defeated animal. My mom and I went back to the bedroom to gather everyone's belongings while waiting for their parents to pick them up. That's when we found Becca's overnight bag and pulled out detailed sketches of each of us, with written spells and pictures of me she'd been collecting for weeks. All the parents arrived and threatened Becca's family with police action unless she got help. Becca was institutionalized and diagnosed with severe attachment disorder. Catherine got 12 stitches and my mom was left with bite scars. 5 years later, Becca called from the facility, her voice cheerful. "I get released next week. I found this amazing witchcraft film we should watch. Maybe we could all hang out again?" I immediately said no and changed my number.